Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Batman Detective, issue number 1 of 6. Didn't like this as much as I thought. I want to say, better late than never with this, but there's a reason why I'm late doing my comic books this week, and I'm going to get to all that good stuff after we talk about who made this book. Batman the Detective, Part 1. Andy Kubert on inks and pencils, and Tom Taylor doing writing. Oh, that's so cute. They switched them up because that actually means something. No, it's just confusing, because Kubert doesn't write, and Taylor doesn't draw, so what the frig. Brad Anderson doing the colors, Clem Robbins doing the letters, Kubert and Anderson doing the main and variant cover, and Riccardo Federici doing the other variant cover. Batman was created by Bill Finger, and Bob Kane took all the credit because F Bob Kane. So basically, the solicit was Batman is old now and he decides to go to London. So I'm like, okay, cool. So let me go and actually read this comic book because it's Tom Taylor. I mean, Tom Taylor does a great character. Tom Taylor does a great comic. Tom Taylor would probably do an amazing Batman. And Tom Taylor dropped the damn ball on this. And turns out the ball had a grenade inside and blew off his freaking feet. And now he's got a symbiote. He's going to be Agent Venom, and he'd probably write that a whole lot better than this. No, I'm seriously disappointed in this. Guys, let me just give you an example before I go into the details of this comic book, if that's even possible. The reason why I am so late doing my comic books, besides the fact that I'm really busy doing my legal studies, this, dude, Tom Taylor's one of those guys that he's a go-to for me. I read his books because it's like, wow, amazing, and it'll get me excited to read other comic books too. Even if they don't quite live up to the expectation, it's still the idea that, dude, but I read a great Tom Taylor book. This book was so bad it completely threw me off. It threw me off my vibe and everything. I did read this comic book on Tuesday. I read this comic book on Tuesday. And I had no interest in reading my Daredevil, no interest in reading my Children of the Atom, no interest in reading my Guardians of the Galaxy. I was just like, dude, not interested. That's how terrible this book came across to me. Batman decides that since Alfred and the rest of his family apparently are all dead, he's going to pick up and leave Gotham because apparently there's nothing left for him here. Always talking about this is my city. Gotham is my city. He's just like, actually, you know what? Let the criminals have it. Like the whole freaking place looks like it's on fire as he's leaving. I mean, that's the scenery. That's the imagery that I get when I'm looking at this. Like, look at this. The city looks like it's on fire. I know it's not, but it looks like it's on freaking fire. And Batman's just like, peace and how you be. I'm out. You know? Look, make no mistake. It's beautiful work. I mean, it's Andy Kubert, for Christ's sake. Of course it's going to be good. Look at this. Look how ridiculous this is. Batman wearing his utility belt. He's got a trench coat with a utility belt on the trench coat. So utility belt over top of his utility belt. Dude, as ridiculous as that is, I'm here for it. I'm here for it all day. Go, Kubert, go. Hell's yes. Pencil that. Ink that. Whoop that. Ass. This was, dude, very beautiful book. Freaking Gentleman Ghost was a different, I don't know, shape in this. He was radically different. He actually looked like a monster. There's no reason given why he looks like that. There's an address. He's just like, you look different. Yeah, I do. What? He's able to touch Gentleman Ghost, but there's an explanation for that, and it's a good explanation. I like that. But like the only reason for him to do this was for the only really good line in this comic book to exist. Batman is asked by Knight, hey, did you do something or did you impress her yet? She's, what did you do to impress her? And he's like, oh, I didn't do anything. I just did my typical stuff. And she's staring at him and he looks back. He's like, well, I did punch a ghost. She's like, there it is. That was a good line. That was very heartwarming. I enjoyed it. Get really cozy up next to that one because there are no other good lines in this book. There's almost another one because Squire goes and asks Batman, why would you do such and such? And Batman turns around and gives her a look as if to say, because I'm Batman. But he doesn't actually say it. And I'm like, dude, that's freaking awesome. That is awesome. Because like you and I, the Batman fans, we know he's the Batman. And he's going to say something like, because I'm Batman. He might even say something like, what are you, stupid? Are you retarded? I'm the goddamn Batman. Frank Miller, right? But no, he could have just simply said, because I'm Batman. But he doesn't. He lets it go. I go to the next panel. Squire goes and says it. Oh, because you're Batman? Was the whole purpose of making the Squire character to have an annoying protagonist in this? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, she was so annoying in this. I was hoping to find out that she was actually like the Riddler's daughter in disguise, and Batman was gonna have to throw a batarang at her face. Like, I was so disappointed in this character. She's literally just blah 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 blah. Listen, we all like to say it's mean when a man says to a woman, "Go make me a sandwich," right? It's a very mean thing. But I'm going to tell you why men say this. Because when a man sits down to watch the football game and a woman comes over and says, "I'm going to watch a game with you." It's like, oh, you feel like, we're going to do something together. This is cool. You know what? I might have to go out and watch a chick flick with her in the movie theaters once this wave of death passes us by, right? You think you got to make it up to her. Then she starts prattling, and she starts asking questions. And she can't just watch the game and figure it out, or ask a question during the many, many, many commercials, right? No. Instead, she got to be asking a question while you're in the middle going, "Yes, yes, yes. Why is he at the ball? Hold on, baby. Yeah, he's running the goal. He's about to make it, man. Oh, man, touchdown. Go for that touchdown, baby. Is he supposed to dribble the ball? Bitch, does this look like basketball? Like, go make me a sandwich. You're done. You're done. Stop talking to me while I'm watching the guy do it." And that's Squire this whole entire time. At some point, I was expecting Batman to just be like, "Listen, go make me a sandwich." Because, like, she was so freaking annoying. It was so annoying. Oh, my God. Batman is old in this. He decides to just go to London. No reason is given. Just he decides to go. Batman, and with closed caption television all over the place. We would know his identity like that. Like that, I said. It's just not going to work. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to work. Old man Batman. Wasn't Batman like the first old man character in the comics? Wasn't he? I'm pretty sure he was. And that was Frank Miller, right? I don't want to see any other version of Old Man Batman. Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, that is my Old Man Batman. I don't want to see any more of this. This just didn't do it. And this crushes me because, like, it's Tom Taylor. I really expected this to be so much better, and it wasn't. And that's hugely disappointing. There were so many pointless moments in that. Like, who needs Batman in London? If Batman wants to go to London to train some other people, I'm down for that comic book. Wasn't there a French Batman doing parkour all over the place? You know what I'm saying? With this "c'est bon 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 bon," and like whatever, the freaking French names and stuff like that. Wasn't there a Batman like that? I'm pretty sure there's Batman like that. How come I haven't heard hide nor hair of this Batman since? Batman could have, just skipped a city, gone straight over to Paris instead of freaking London. You know what I'm saying? They're close. They're really close. They're not far away at all. You know what I'm saying? Boop. And, like, are you kidding me? Could have just simply done that. But no. Had to go to London. Had to have them fish and chips. Had to have them tea and crippets. Like, dude, what the frick? Go and play squash for all I care. I don't need this. If he was there to train somebody, I'm down. But to be Batman over there, absolutely 0 point. I saw no point in this comic book. I'm not going to read the next issue. I'm really disappointed. I really expected more out of Tom Taylor, man. There was no need for Bruce Wayne to go over to London in the very first place. I don't want to see this mother fathead up in space. I sure as hell don't want to see him over in jolly old London. Like, what's the point? Get your own Batman. You know what I'm saying? Batman is a Jersey boy. All right, Gotham City, that is in New Jersey. In case you didn't know, not too far from Delaware. All right, it's right there, bruh. It's right there. And freaking, he going off to London, man. Joan here. Don't you guys have Captain Britain? Go read those comic books. Anyway, I'm out. This book was terribly disappointing to me. So many missed opportunities. And again, like, there's some things you just don't have to explain. Do you remember all three of the Dark Knight movies, right? The Dark Knight Returns, Dark Knight Rising, whatever the hell all these movies. Batman Returns, I think, was the first one. Whatever the hell those movies were called, all right? The Christopher Nolan movies. You know what I'm saying? With Christian Bale. Bro. You know that all three of those movies had Morgan Freeman, the ultimate narrator of all narrators. You know what I'm saying? It was at this point that he knew that he messed up. Like, the ultimate narrator. And yet, Morgan Freeman, as Lucius Fox, never felt the need to narrate. And here, it's one thing to narrate, but like you got the characters, you got Squire and Knight just narrating, prattling their little asses off. Like, dude, shut up. Shut up. It doesn't need to be that much talking. It's Batman. We know who Batman is. If you never read a comic book before and you pick up this comic book as your first comic book, you picked it up because you already know who Batman is. And because that cover was pretty slamming. Bruh. Anyway, guys, I didn't like this comic book. And yeah, I hope this is not a downward spiral for Mr. Taylor, because I respect the guy's work way too much. But I said what I got to say. Enough with the Commonwealth. Down with the Commonwealth. No more living the Queen. Let's just... This was unnecessary. Talk to you guys later. Like the video, watch an ad. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.